Hello. I am sitting on my campus on the grass. On my campus. I'm not doing particularly well. I'm in need of sun. I'm in desperate need of being outside and really taking in Mother Nature for all she is. And yeah, it's the end of my first. Well, okay. I guess I don't want to make this video just yet. Well, this is not the reason I'm making this video. I really enjoy documenting my experience at the end of each quarter. It's not the end of the quarter. Well, technically yes, but also technically no. We just started finals week. So, well, at the time of recording this, we just started finals week. And so, it's not, like, I could talk about it. I could start talking about it. But we're not over. It's not over. So yeah. I don't know if anyone can relate to when you just feel so heavy. You just kind of start staring off into space. And then it becomes difficult to get yourself out of it because it just feels so good to let yourself just be for a second, for a moment. It's not a fun feeling. It's not a fun feeling to feel so heavy in every single part of your body. Every single inch of you, of who you are, and just to be going throughout your day, fighting through it, really trying to push yourself, one moment at a time, one foot in front of the other. I'm gonna get to point A first, then I'm going to get to point A and a half, and then point B, and then point B and a half, and sometimes it's even the smallest of steps we have to take, it's okay, step 1, step 1.2, step 1.3, step 1.5, step 1.10, and so we're able to get ourselves to get going. I don't know if it's the accumulation of everything that went on this quarter. Not that it was a terrible quarter. I would say that compared to the quarters I've had here, this has been by far the best one. Except with it came a lot of other obstacles that I was not quite ready for. But when are you ever ready for the obstacles that come into your life? They just happen. They just come when they're meant to, and you just use the tools in your backpack that in order to move through it, to grow through it, you know. Also, the sun is going down, so I was debating. So I just got to campus not too long ago, and the only reason I came here was to drop off a project that I had to get done or submit. So really, my time here is like I don't need to be here. But then I thought maybe I should sit on the grass. I enjoy sitting and being one with nature and just grounding myself in this way. I'm hungry. I need to get food. And I thought maybe I should walk, but in that very moment, I couldn't. So I decided to give myself grace and sit down and be with the sun and just record myself talking and see what happens. And so that's what I'm doing. I'm sitting here, I'm talking. Oh, I want the moon with me. She's right there. So that's what I'm doing, and hopefully by the end of this, I feel a little better. I feel a lot more capable of walking to go get food. I just gotta get myself to there, you know. I don't really know what this video is. It's 7 minutes already, but I don't really know. I'm just talking, I guess. I guess that's what I'm doing. I quite enjoy watching these kinds of videos of just people speaking their truth. People just sharing what's on their hearts, in their minds, on their souls. You know, there's something so beautiful about just watching somebody and listening to somebody speak in that way, and just feel the feelings, and to know that we human, I'm a human listening to another human, you know, going through their own journey in life. They don't know who I am. They have no idea that I exist. They have no idea that I am listening to this and resonating with what they're saying, you know? And I think it's very beautiful. And for so long, I've felt called to share my truths with people. You know, I always record myself talking, and it's always been such a therapeutic thing for me, a very cathartic thing to be able to just express what I have within me. I'm a very creative person, so I express myself in other ways as well, in more artistic ways. You know, whether that be through writing or on a canvas or whatever, you know. And you know, I also enjoy speaking and just coming to an understanding of where I'm at in my life through that. I think speaking and saying things aloud for us to hear is such a powerful thing, because it makes it true. Not that it isn't true, but I think sometimes things can be truthful in our lives. Things could have happened, and we just let it linger in our minds and our hearts. And I think this belief that if they don't say it aloud, it isn't true. And I mean, there's some sense to that, you know? Words do have a lot of power, and we have to be careful with what we say out loud, right? Even what we think about, but the words we say do have a lot of power. You know, a lot of people don't believe in manifesting and stuff like that, but you know what? It's such an interesting thing, you know, and the mind is so powerful and the world is so powerful. And yeah, I have lots to say about that, but maybe some other time. I'm working a lot on, well, I don't know, I feel a little confused about things in my life. But I think that's just what life is about sometimes, you know, or a lot of the times. The confusion that comes with our journeys, through us journeying this life. Yeah. I don't know who's listening to this. I really don't, but I hope that whoever is, I don't know. I want to say I hope you feel comforted, but honestly, I would like to be comforted. But I hope that if you are feeling some type of way, perhaps in a similar way that I explained or tried to explain, you know, this numbness, this lowness, you know, if you feel that, you know, I hope that you know that you are not alone in that. I hope you know that other people feel this way or in similar ways, you know. And you know, I know this isn't going to last. I know, because I've gone through periods like this before, you know, and I know it'll get better. I know I'm gonna learn a lot from this moment in time. I know all of these things, you know, and I just want to be able, I just want to be able to come out of it stronger and just at peace. That's what I want. I want peace. I want to feel more than okay. You know, and I think it's so interesting. I think for such a long time, you know, it was something that I had to work on a lot. It's still something I'm working on, but you know, in high school, I realized that I was so used to, or perhaps addicted. Maybe we could call it an addiction, you know? I was so addicted. I was so used to being super busy. What do I mean by that? I was so used to always thinking about something, always being super anxious about something, always trying to figure things out, always like I guess I I don't want to say enjoyed. I think I was just so used to always being so up here, I was just so used to being on the go, and I need to do this, never having really, always at a super stressed level. And obviously stress comes in a lot of ways and shows up in a lot of different ways. And that distracted me. It shows up in a lot of ways, stress, and I think I was just so used to being at a constant level of stress, I guess I would say. And I got to a point, I don't know if it was my first year of college. Actually, no. I think it was my the second half of my senior year, where I think I just realized a little more then, and then from there, especially during my first year of college, that's when I was working a lot on this habit. And I would say it was a habit. It was a habit of looking for things to worry about. It was a habit of looking for things to think about, or putting myself in situations that were going to make me feel stressed out or bad, or just always just never a moment of calm, never a moment of peace. I vividly recall, when I was working on this, during my first year, second year, I would say that, when I did have a moment of peace, of nothing, I don't know if I would call it peace, but when I did have a moment of where I wasn't doing anything, I didn't have any obligations, I didn't have to, I was just there, I could, if I wanted to, watch a show, I could write, I could read, I could go out and hang out with people, but I always managed to bring myself out of that and make myself start getting, make myself stressed in some way, start feeling like I had to do something, like I was wasting my time, like I just, I subconsciously was, now I understand, but I had to, these were deep-rooted things that I had to unlearn, and I'm still unlearning, I will say that it's gotten so much better, and it's so interesting because I don't think I've really had time, not that I haven't had time, but I don't think I've allowed myself the time to reflect on that specific thing until now, and just how much I have unlearned in this life, I have unlearned this deep-rooted thing, and it's just such a blessing to be able to look back on that and look at myself right now, and really I feel the difference, I see the difference. I very much energetically feel how different I take things on or react to things. I'm still working a ton. There are things right now that there are things that I have to work on, and I'm actively working on them. But yeah, I don't know where that came up or how I brought that into conversation, but being so used to the mind always being busy, to the heart always being busy, the soul, the body, it gets tiring. And I think sometimes, although I've unlearned a lot, and I'm still unlearning, and I don't know if we ever actually stop unlearning that. I think it's just a habit that continues of like, okay, I've unlearned, I've understood that I've unlearned, but we can always gain that back. We can always learn it again, and bring on that habit once again. But I think sometimes I don't realize, like I'm thinking right now, I don't realize that sometimes I fall back into this habit of keeping myself busy in different ways, whether that be busy in the heart, busy in the mind, busy in the soul, busy in the body, physically, busy energetically, whatever it may be. And I think a lot of the times that can lead to burnout. And I would say that it very much did, and that's why I was always burnt out when I was, younger, doing all of these things, and you don't really understand why in that moment, and again, for different people, different reasons it happens, but I think one of the main things for me is the pressure that I was putting on myself. And that's another thing, the pressure that we feel. Okay, I want the moon. Nah, she's still in there. The pressure that we feel, it's pressure that we've put on ourselves, truly. And that's something else that I've had to unlearn, and again, still unlearning, but it's still something that gets to me. And I think it'll probably always be something that I have to constantly keep working on, because it's just such a big thing, like, why do I believe that I have to have this done by this time, by this age, and do this when not, and then da 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 da. They're just things we put into our heads, into our minds, to keep us on some sort of schedule. Literally, what's schedule though? There is no literal schedule, of our lives. Like, no one handed us a piece of paper noting ages, noting decades of our lives, noting years, whatever, saying that we have to do this, then this, then this, then this, and this. It's like, we don't have to have things done at a certain time, like, yeah, the reasons we think this is because we see other people doing the same thing. We see a group of people, a mass group of people going to college at the age of 18, and then for whatever reason we allow ourselves to believe that is what needs to happen for us. We see a group of people I don't know, it could be anything, we see a group of people buying shoes on sale at some store. Do we need shoes? No, but they're on sale, and people, there's a bunch of people buying, so maybe I should buy, and that's like a very like minimal example, probably not, doesn't necessarily pertain to the timeline of life, but even in these smaller ways, it's how are people affecting us? How are people affecting the way we think about ourselves, how we think about our journeys, how we think about our time, how we think about these different things in our lives, like why do we do what we do? Why am I doing what why am I doing what I'm doing? And I'm such a huge advocate for you do what you want to do, when you want to do it, how you want to do it, and when you want to do it. I don't know if I said that already, but you do what you want to do, when you want to do it, how you want to do it. Got it? You have to anchor yourself to the authenticity that runs through you. We are all different people. No one is alike. And you can argue with me on that. But no one is alike. And so much easier said than done, be your own person, be authentic, stay true to you, do what you want, make your own decisions, don't let other people make you turn this way or that way or yeah, easier said than done, excuse me. But why not work on it either way? It took me I don't know if I want to say it took me a long time. I feel like I had this idea when I was pretty young, and I think that's why I've been able to, I think that's why I'm where I'm at right now, by following what it is I want, when I want it, how I want to do it, where I want to do it. It's like go to school. I don't know. That was just an example. But all of these things, these questions specifically help anchor you to yourself, these questions help bring you back to you, which is absolutely necessary in this life, because you are in charge of yourself. You are the person you have to live with for the entirety of your life. So why not get yourself to a place where you feel great, and the only way you're going to do that, the only way you're going to get yourself to a place where you're feeling that amazing feeling, those feelings of peace and calm and all of these things, is by getting to a place where your authentic self is connected. And the only way that's going to happen is if you are making choices based on what you want, when you want them, how you want to do them, and then of course attaching the why to it. Why is it that these things are things you want to do right now? sometimes we just feel pulled, we just feel called to do these things, and that's another thing, you know. I think that's, sometimes we have these things calling us for reasons, you know. We don't necessarily understand them, we don't know why we're being called to go to New York for school or something, but you know, we apply and then we get in, and then, I mean, you know. This conversation I did not think was going to end up here. I started off this video very low, and in ways I'm still low, I won't lie. I'm not doing amazing right now. I don't know if you can tell, my eyes are a little puffy, meaning I was crying. I know. But we're human, you know, it happens. We cry, and you know, all you can do is feel the feelings, feel the feeling, and thank your body for being able to do that. Thank yourself for allowing yourself to do that, for giving space to yourself to do that, and then reflecting on it, you know, and then learning from it and growing. You know, it's a cycle of life, and this cycle that we go through, you know, it'll work out. But anyway, it's been 31 minutes. I don't know who stayed to watch this, but if you did, I wish I knew who watched these videos, or like who's watching this video. Maybe let me know or something, like say hi in the comments, or give me a piece of advice, you know, human to human, I gave you some words of wisdom, I hope. I hope you take them as that, or I hope I said something that resonated with you, or you leave from this video with something in your heart or in your mind and your soul. But I would love to get any advice from people. I love to talk with people in those ways and just learn from them. And if you have a teaching you want to offer me, I'm more than happy to take it. Yeah, I would truly appreciate that. Anything you think that would help me in this moment in time, in this journey of my life, I would absolutely take it. But anyway, I hope that you were well accompanied by the moon and I. I hope that wherever you are taking care of yourself. I hope that you're taking care of your energy and not allowing people to negatively affect your space and your energy and who you are. Remember that you have so much power in being you, in being who you are, you know. But whenever you're listening to this, I hope you have an amazing moment, an amazing day, an amazing morning, an amazing night, evening. What else? It's almost Christmas and New Year, so I hope that, and all of these other amazing holidays, and I hope that this time of year is good to you all, and I hope it gives you time to reflect on the year that you've had and to think and count the blessings in your life. And there's so much to be grateful for. There's so much. Even the fact that if you're watching this, that means you woke up today. That means that means you woke up. And I think that's something to be so grateful for. And I hope you are. But thank you for watching. Thank you for sticking with me for these 35 minutes. If you did stick with me, thank you. Thank you so much. You didn't have to, but just the fact that you were willing to listen to another person talk is amazing and such a beautiful thing. So thank you. And I'm sending so much love, so much great, positive, fulfilling energy your way. So thank you. Mwah. Goodbye.